Good morning. In this video, we will discuss chapter 2, Instructions, Language of the Computer. Like what the computer can understand. So that's the instruction that we are going to discuss in detail. So let's move on to the representing instructions in the computer. When you are writing a program, you will be writing many instructions. So the instructions instruct the computer and the way computers see instructions. So we are going to tell the computer to do certain operations. Actually, instructions are kept in the computer as a series of high or low electrical signals like zeros and ones. Of course, we write it in assembly language like MIPS assembly language or x86, whatever is it, but computers see the instruction as electronic signals like zeros and ones. So each piece of an instruction can be considered as an individual number. Okay, so we are placing these numbers next to form an instruction. Okay, in an instruction in assembly language, we will be using registers. So registers are referred in an instructions. So registers, we use them like register T1, T2, T0 something. We use the names. So these registers are represented in numbers in an instruction. Because as I mentioned, computers understands only binary, zeros and ones. So let's assume the registers. So what are the registers we will be using and what are their numbers? So in the table here, the first column is the register names. Like register 0, Z-E-R-O, register V0, V1, A0, A1, A2, A3. Register A02, a register A3. So the next column shows the corresponding register numbers. For example, the first register, register 0, the corresponding register number is 0. Okay, and let's see the some other register which we used quite a few times, like register T0 to T7. Okay, so the numbers are 8 to 15. So what does it mean 8 to 15? Register T0, the number is 8. The corresponding number for register T0 is 8. So let's say for register T1, it's 9. And 10 for register T2, etc, etc. So it goes on like this. And the last register, register T7, is going to be 15. The corresponding number is 15. So this is the idea. Okay. And we also used quite few registers, which is register S0 to S7. The corresponding number is 16 to 23. So register S0 is 16 and the next one is 17 and the next one is 18. And the last one, register S7, the corresponding register number is 23. Okay, so these are the two sets of register you may have to remember, because in the upcoming translation we will be using them. So you may need to remember those register numbers for register T0 to T7, S0 to S7. Okay, now let's see the instruction formats. In MIPS assembly language programming, there are three types of instruction format. So what are the three types of instruction format? You may see from here R type, I type, J type. So these are the three instruction formats. R type, this is R instructions are used when all the data values are going to be mentioned in registers. Okay, like you put the data values, the values of the source and the destination are to be in a register. For example, you already discussed arithmetic instructions, add, subtract, multiply, where when you write the instruction, all of them are going to be registered, like destination register, source 1 register, source 2 register. Okay, and that's R type. Next type is I format. In I type of instruction, where the instruction must operate on an immediate value and a register. So you may see a register also and you will see an immediate value. What is meant by immediate value? A constant. You will see a constant in a instruction. that comes under I type instruction. Okay, and the J type. J format is used for the jump instruction. In MIPS we have few instructions, that is for jump. Jump means to move the control to over another instruction. Okay, so we will start with the R format. Okay, R format, and this is the R format instruction. Okay, you have to remember one thing. In MIPS each instruction is going to take 32 bits. Okay, when you represent an instruction, and that instruction will take 32 bits. You know, each bit is a binary bit, 0 or 1. So each instruction is going to take 32 bit. How the 32 bit are organized? The first 6 bit are going to is used for the opcode. Next 5 bit for the RS. Another 5 bit for RT. Another 5 bit for RD. The next 5 bit for shift amount. And the last 6 bit are for the function code. So it's written here. Opcode means the basic operation of the instruction. We call it opcode. RS means first source register. RT means second source register. And RD means the destination register. Okay, and the shift amount, SHAMT, is the shift amount. We will be using this field later. We did not study until now. We will be using after a while, maybe in next class. And function code means it is the extension of the opcode. Okay, it's an extension of the opcode. Okay, so we will see quite a few examples using this R format. There are many field: opcode, RS, RT, RD, shift amount and function code. Let's look at them in detail in an example, using an example. So you may have to remember the sequence of the fields, which comes first, how many bits are used, etc. So let's look into one example for the R format. It's here. Okay, so this is an example for the R format. So the instruction written here is add T0 register S1 register S2. Okay, so let's break down into pieces into the fields. So you have the opcode. What is the opcode? Opcode means here the opcode. Okay, like operation of the instruction. So we have two, opcode and function code. Remember, in the add, subtract, multiply, the extension of the opcode is the one we will be using. So there is no opcode here, and the extension, the function code, what is the function? Add. Add is the function. So remember, we have to write everything in numbers. Okay, machine understands only the zeros and ones. So what is the number? Equivalent for add is 32. Okay, the number equivalent for add is 32. Can you see here? So the function code, this is the function code. So the function code is add. What is the number equivalent of function code? 32. Okay, it's done here. First part is over. I said just now we are using the function code, the extension. There is no opcode. So when you do not have opcode, that means it's 0. So opcode is 0, function code is 32 for addition. Okay, remember this. And let's look into the instruction. The instruction is add opcode, and the registers are given. Register T0, comma, register S1, comma, register S2. Okay, now you have to decide which is the source, which is the destination. So this is the destination. Register T0 is the destination. Okay, so where to put the destination? Let's remember the field. The field says you have to write the RS and then RT and then RD. Okay, and this is the ARP code and this is the function code I already wrote here. Okay, so RS means source, first source, RT means second source, RD means destination. So let's look into the destination. It says register T0. What is the number equivalent for T0? Let's look into this diagram. Number equivalent for T0 is, it's here. Number equivalent for T0 is 8. And for S1, S2, because these are the two more registers we used, S1, S2 comes from this 16 to 23. Let's remember this. We will come back to this point after a while. So T0 means the number equivalent is 8. T0 means 8. So let's see here RD, which is T0. So the number equivalent here is 8. Can you see here? How do you get 8? Because for T0, just now I mentioned, there is an equivalent decimal number for each register. You need to remember that decimal number, that number for each register. And what is this register S1? It is source 1 register. Okay, S2 means source 2 register, second source. Source 1, source 2. So let's look into the source S1, S2. It's written here. S0 means 16. So S1 is 17. S2 is 18. Okay, 17, 18. So it's written here. Can you see? S1. S1 is 17 and S2 is 18. So you have to fill the fields with the corresponding decimal equivalent. And what is this field? This is for the shift amount. I told you we will be looking into this this one in another instruction, in shift instruction, in logical instructions after 1 or 2 classes, maybe in the next class. Until now this is not a shift instruction, this is add instruction. So just write 0. Okay then. So this is the way you have to find out the decimal equivalent. So you now know the decimal equivalent, you fill the fields. First field is ARP code, you write the 0. And you know the function code and you know the source 1, source 2 and this is destination. I don't have the shift instruction. Fine. Now you need to find, a machine cannot understand the decimal. You need to put it in binary because the instructions are represented in the electronic signal, which is zeros and ones. So I need to convert it into binary. So let's look into the binary equivalent. So the same instruction, we will be converting them into binary. You know that in the instruction format I told you 6 bits for the ARP code and 6 bits are for the function code and the rest of them are going to take 5 bits. RS, RT, RD and then shift amount. They are all going to take 5 bits. Remember the bits also. So the 0 is written in 6 bits. Can you see here? And let's see the 17. When you convert 17 into binary, you get 10001. You know how to convert a decimal to binary. You already studied it in digital logic design. And convert 18 into binary, you get 10010. When you convert 8, actually you get 1000, but I want a 5 bit. Remember, you need to fill with 5 bit. So put a 0 in front. Okay. And 0, you put it in 5 bits. 00000. And 32, when you convert in binary, you get 100000. So this is the binary equivalent of the instruction. Can you see this? This is the instruction. when you write this in a sequence of zeros and ones. So this is the instruction. It can be understandable by the computer. Okay, so the instruction is written in the what do you call, the hexadecimal format. This is in hexadecimal format anyways. Okay, so you now know how to convert an instruction into decimal and then convert back to binary. So which is R type instruction, we learn how to convert to decimal and how to convert back to binary. Okay then. So this is about the R type format. Sorry. So let's look into I type, that is I format instruction. When you look into I type, I format instruction, I told you these are the instruction that uses registers and immediate value, which is constant. Whenever I say immediate value, do not get confused. This immediate value means constant. So your instruction is having a constant. One example, add immediate. We will look into add immediate after a while. Okay, after a few minutes we will look into the add immediate. Okay, so let's look into the fields. What are the fields you have in the I format instruction? The same opcode with 6-bit, and then RS with the 5-bit and RT with the 5-bit. There is no RD, and the rest of the 16 bits are for the constant. Sometimes constant, sometimes address. So RS is the source. Here RT is the destination. RT means your destination. Here another one, constant. You have 16 bits for the constant. Okay then. So here in the 16-bit I am using in the load store instruction, there is some address coming. In load and store, in a load word and store word, we will be using address. Is it? So we use address in the load store, and we use add immediate. In add immediate instruction we use constant. Okay then. So let's look into a few example. Let's see example. So immediate instruction. Let's recall back the immediate instruction. What are the immediate instruction we studied? Add immediate instruction, load immediate instruction. So these are the instructions which has some constant. Okay, we already discussed and we already used in our practical part. Okay, I think you know better. Now let's move on to how are we going to convert those instructions. Okay, there is some more instruction for the add immediate also, which is load word and store word. Okay, so load word and store word also comes under the I format. Okay, not only add immediate and load immediate, we still have some more instruction that comes under I format is LW, SW. Okay, load word and store word. Okay then. So in load word and store word, we studied we studied this type of instruction, which is indexed load word and store word. Can you see here, load word followed by the source register, destination register, followed by offset and base address. Am I right? And we have the store word followed by the source register, offset, and then base register. So we have these instructions. So let's look into the load word and store word also. Before going to that, let's look into what are the equivalent opcode. Let's remember the opcode. So in the table here, you can keep it in your mind what are the opcode or function code. Let's see, for add, the opcode is 0, function code is 32. Keep it in your mind. For subtract, opcode is 0, function code is 34. For add immediate, which is add I, the opcode is 8. There is no function code. Okay, because it comes under I type. For load word, opcode is 35. For store word, opcode is 43. So you may have to remember the opcode or the function code for various instructions. Okay. So let's look into the one example for I type. How are we going to translate an I type? Okay. So let's look into this example. But this instruction is not written in the slide. Let me write the instruction for clear understanding. Okay, let me write the first one, which is load word. The first one I'm going to deal with this is load word. Okay, let me write the instruction. Load word followed by the destination register. Let's assume that it is T0, comma offset. Let's assume it is 1200. Inside the bracket you mention the base address, which is T1. So let's assume this is the instruction. Okay, just in the previous slide I mentioned, I told you for load word the opcode is 35 if I'm not mistaken. Let's go back and see the opcode. Opcode for load word is 35. For store word is 43. Remember the opcode. Okay. So let's look into the opcode, which is 35. So here it is written. Yeah. So the opcode here it is 35. Now opcode part is over. Let's look into RSRT. Here RS means the source. Okay, RT here is the destination. So this is the idea. Okay, but there will be a quite difference. You will have a slight difference. Okay, so what is the RS? RS is the source and RD should be the destination. So what is the load word basically here? Load word, it transfers the data. Okay, it takes a data from memory and put it into a destination register. It reads a value from memory and that value is written onto the register T0. Okay, so it comes from here to here. So memory is the source and this is the destination. So this is the source and this is the destination. So this is RS and this is RT. Am I right? So RT is register T0. You remember the register number for RT, which is 8. Register T0 is 8. Remember the register numbers? If you want, we can go back. Register T0. What is the number for T0? Wait a second. Here it is. Register number for T0 is 8. So you may have to remember that. Yeah, we are here. So the register, just a second. Yes. So register T0, which is the destination. So it's going to be RT. Register T0 number is 8. It's written here. And I told you RS is this register T1. R0 register T0 is 8 means T1 will be 9 because it goes in a sequence. And this 1200 is the address. Can you see here? Okay, so this is about the load word. So the binary equivalent of the load word is written here. When you convert 35, you get 1010 something like that, 100011. When you convert 9, you get 01001. You need to fill that many bits, 5 bits for the RT, RS, 6 bit for the opcode, and 16 bits for the address or constant. See, you need to write 16 bits. So you fill the, if you don't get that many bits, if you have less bits, fill with the zeros. Okay, fill with the zeros. Can you see here? They fill with the zeros. So this is the binary equivalent. Fine. Now let's move on to one other example. Here it is. I clear this one and I have the same, but this time it is store word. When you see store word, what is the meaning of store word is, it's not like that. It's going to be, store word means what? You have some data in a register, you are going to save it onto the memory. Register to memory is called store word. Okay. So, let's fill the field for the store word. It's here. Opcode is 43. In the previous slide I told you opcode for store word is 43. Okay, fine. And here comes RSRT. Okay. Even though I take the value from register T0, I save it onto the memory. Let's remember one thing. The one you write it on the first, you keep it as RT. Even for load word, even for store word, you don't change it. The one you write here, the base address, you call this is base address, is it? That you keep it as RS. Even for load word, even for store word. The first register you write, that is the RT. The register you write inside the bracket, you know the base address, you keep it as RS. Can you get the idea? So, it is going to be 8 and then 9 as like your load word. Okay then, so the first register is going to be the RS. So this is your okay, so as like a load word, you will be filling the same numbers because both are the same here. So register T0, the equivalent value is 8, that is the RT, and register here. And register T1, the equivalent value is 9, which is the RS here. So for load word and store word, keep the same. So you have to remember one thing. The first register you write it in load word and store word, that is called RT, and the register you write inside the bracket, that is called RS. Remember. And the constant or the address 1200, 1200. So when you convert these data, the decimal data in binary, you will get these. So this is the equivalent binary for 43, equivalent binary for 9, equivalent binary for 8, and equivalent binary for 1200. Remember, if you don't get enough bit, you fill with zeros. See here, the equivalent binary for 9 is 1001, 4 bits. But remember, you have to write 5 bits for RS, 5 bits for RT, 6 bits for opcode, 16 bits for constant or a register. So you have to fill with zeros. So when you count, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bits. See here, they fill with zeros. If you do not get enough bits, do not leave it like that. You have to maintain that many bits. If it is 16 bits, maintain 16 bits. If it is 6 bits, maintain 6 bits. Okay, you have to write that many bits. So as a whole, when you count those bits, you should get 32 bits. See, this 16 bits, okay, this 16 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6. When you add them all, you should get 32 in as a whole. In the beginning, I told you, like every instruction will take 32 bits. Is it? So when you count the bits, you should get 32 bits. So let's look into the stored program concept. So instructions and data are represented in binary. Okay, all the instructions are going to be translated into binary because machine understands only zeros and ones. All the instructions and data are stored in memory. So the the programs that operate on your program are called the system programs, which is compiler, linker, assembler, etc., etc. Okay, then let's move on to some other type of instruction, which is loading and storing byte. You know, last example we saw load word, store word, but we have few other examples, which is few other instructions which are load byte and store byte. Load byte means it loads a byte value. Okay, it loads byte value means it load a 8-bit value. 8-bit, it's called 1 byte. So a byte is loaded onto the destination register, and that is specified from the given address in the load byte. So it loads a byte from memory onto the rightmost 8 bits of the register. Remember, your register can hold 32 bits. 32 bits means when you say 32 bit, it's going to be 4 byte. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 byte. Okay. This is 8 bit. This is 8 bit. Another 8 bit. Another 8 bit. So load byte will load 1 byte. 1 byte means 8 bits. So it is loaded onto the rightmost bit of your register. So all these bits will be either 0 or 1. Okay, because if you use sign extension, you extend with the 11111 or 00000. If you do not use sign extension, you fill it with 00000, something like that. Okay, you already studied sign extension in the previous class, is it? For example, if I use a sign extension, if my byte value is, for example, I am drawing something, sorry, if my byte value is 1000 000 or something like that, this is my value. So this is 8 bits only, but your register needs to have 32 bits. Okay, so you fill the remaining bits with the sign. What is the sign? Sign is mentioned in the most significant bit. So you fill the rest of the bits with 11111111 because that is the sign bit. This is with the sign extension. If you do not have sign extension, never mind, you fill it with 0000000, something like that. Okay, so that's the idea of load word and store word. This is the same idea for the store word also. So this is the one example they gave for the load word and also for the store word. The same idea, load byte and store byte. Load byte and store byte are very similar to the load word and store word, but load word and store word deal with 32-bit data. Here load byte and store byte deals with only 8-bit data. Okay, so that's the point we have to remember. So this is the indirect and based addressing. So here indirect and based addressing, they are used with the load and store instructions. And the first instruction is load address. We already discussed this in our practical class. And the another one is indirect addressing. So in indirect addressing, this is a kind of new type. Maybe we didn't study this. So here Let's look into the load address. Sorry. So in load address, you load the address of a memory location onto a register T0. So register T0 contains the address. So that register T0, you are giving it in the load word. So this, put it in the bracket. What is the meaning of this in bracket? If you write something in a bracket, that means it contains the address. So register T0 now contains the address. So that's the meaning when you put something in a bracket. So here register T2, it's going to have a value because I didn't put anything in over the bracket. Okay, when you write a register over a bracket, that means that register contains the address. So what is the meaning of this instruction? So in your memory, there are many locations. So the address of a location, the address is in register T0. So the address in this register. So go to the address, take the value, that value is moved onto or loaded onto this register T2. This is the meaning of this instruction. Okay, so what is the meaning of this store word? So the register T0 contains a value. So this value is loaded onto this address. Register T0 is an address. It contains an address. How do I know? I put it in a bracket. Is it? So if you have a memory location and this is the address and you put the value of register T0 in that address. So that is the meaning of this indirect addressing. Okay. So this is the idea of indirect addressing. In our next practical class, we will be practicing this indirect addressing, load word and store word in detail. And this is the indirect or based addressing. This is what we call based addressing. This is the one we used in the previous example, load word and store word, which uses the register and the offset and the base address. So this is what you call based addressing. The previous one is called indirect addressing and this is called based addressing. Another name is indexed addressing, indexed or based addressing. This one we already discussed in the practical class. And in the next video or in the next class, we will discuss the logical instructions. Thank you.